All Stop Sports. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Back with another video. We're going to talk some more boxing, but first and foremost, shout out to the LDBC. Now, this is my official post-fight recap to Terence Crawford versus Julius Indongo. And man, oh man, what an atmosphere to be a part of. I'm truly blessed to be able to say that I made it to witness history. Before I touch on the main event, I want to speak on Shakur Stevenson. I was thankful I got to sit down and watch him perform for 6 rounds. I'm actually glad that the fight didn't get stopped or that he didn't stop his opponent prematurely. The reason why I'm happy about that is because I wanted to see Shakur work. This was his third professional fight, and I'm sure that before I see him live again, he's going to have quite a bit more fights. And I want to see where I think he's improved on from now until when he gets, to kind of early stages of his pro career. Right now, he's in the beginning. And then when he's in the prime, I want to watch his true growth and the development of Shakur Stevenson. I think he has tremendous hand speed, cat-like reflexes, very defensive-minded, and I like that about a fighter because that means he's disciplined enough to know the game is to hit and not get hit. And I love the style that he's implementing into his pro game. Very exciting seeing Shakur Stevenson do his thing. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for the young man. He surrounds himself with quality people. Andre Ward, James Prince, I saw him at the fight. Also, Terence Crawford. Now let's get to the main event. Terence Crawford versus Julius Indongo. First and foremost, before I touch on the fight, shout out to Team Indongo. Excellent people, just excellent. Before the fight, they were down just enjoying kind of, leaning up against the gate. I wasn't too far from, the ring. I went down and I was able to, have a conversation with Team Indongo for about 5 minutes. I told them who I was. I was out there, covering the fight, supporting them. I thanked them and told them to thank Julius personally because of his willingness to travel to America, take on Terence Crawford, and be willing to pay the sanctioning fees. I thanked him for that. They asked me a few questions, specifically, what does the LDBC stand for? I explained to them the Lions Den boxing community, told them what was going on. They said they were in contact with Blood Boxing. They have a lot of respect for Blood Boxing. Shout out to Blood Boxing. They were saying that, they were making videos. He was sending the information back and forth and that they were going to continue to stay in contact. I gave them my personal information. I was just very thankful. I was able to get a photo with, the advisor for Julius Indongo. I'm not going to say anybody's name. This was all prior to the fight. So for everybody that's thinking that Julius Indongo went in there to take a dive, they personally told me, I wonder how these people are going to be when we leave with all the belts. They personally said that to me. So I know they didn't travel all this way for Julius Indongo to go out there and take a dive. Great people from Namibia. Very respectful. Spoke extremely high of Blood Boxing once again. And treated me with nothing but respect. Now the people of Nebraska, shout out to them. Everybody. It's incredible the support that they give Terence Crawford. Feel that electricity in that arena. When Indongo's walking out, he's walking out right in front of me. When Indongo's walking out, to hear the boos, the true boos, as you know he's walking into enemy territory. It was electrifying. It was tremendous to feel it. This is everything this type of fight should be. To see Terence Crawford come down through the crowd, letting his hometown know I'm rocking for you, and the crowd cheering for him, letting him know, we here, we got your back, we here. We've been seeing you fight since you was in high school. We've been seeing you fight since you was in elementary school. All this stuff you hear just in the concession stands of all the love Terence Crawford gets. The biggest events that happen in Nebraska used to be the Cornhuskers. Right now, it's whenever Terence Crawford brings a fight to the city. They show up and he shows out. The announcement, when they're announcing the fighters, I just couldn't believe the environment that I'm in. Witnessing history. Andre Ward's there announcing the fight. James Prince. You got everybody that's around you that knows what kind of environment you're in. 4 belts on the line, and the winner of this fight gets crowned undisputed. Now, if you heard my prediction video, you knew that it was a last-minute decision for me to go to the fight, but I predicted Terence to stop Julius Indongo, and that's what eventually ended up happening. Terence Crawford, if you follow Blood Boxing, actually was educating Julius Indongo. He said he throws his punches a little too wide, he needs to straighten them up, but he's a talented fighter. Terence Crawford, man, look, I've been following this guy since he fought Bradis Prescott. He fought him on the undercard of Mike Alvarado and I believe Brandon Rios. It was in Broomfield, Colorado. He dominated Bradis Prescott. I was high on Prescott, so when I saw Terence Crawford dominate him like that, I knew Terence Crawford was special. And the reason why I knew that is because Prescott knocked out Amir Khan. So you fast forward through the Yuriorkis Gamboa win, through the Derry Jean win, through the Hank Lundy win, through the Victor Postal win, through the John Molina Jr. win, through the Felix Diaz win. Now you're seeing the young man become the undisputed junior welterweight champion. And not only does he do that, he sells out arenas in doing so. And not only does he do that, the networks are excited because with no promotion, he's able to broadcast. I guarantee you he does way more, like I said in my prediction video, than that Lomachenko fight did 2 weeks prior. He's earning everything that he's getting on his rise to becoming the biggest star in boxing. And I have nothing but respect for him because his hard work has earned it. He's active. He stays in the ring. He challenges himself. And he puts it all on the line. So much respect to that man for going in there, becoming undisputed. And I'm just honored that I was able to witness it. Now, you ask me, what's next for Terence Crawford? Well, let's start with Julius Indongo first. What's next for Julius Indongo? I feel like Julius Indongo still has an opportunity to go ahead and, be the man at 140. There's no shame in beating Terence Crawford. Now, is Mikey Garcia going to go up there? More than likely, if Terence Crawford moves to 147, yes. If he can't get a Lomachenko fight, but we'll see what happens with that. But I would like to see Indongo Lipinets. Lipinets talked all this stuff after the fight, saying he feels like that Indongo wasn't prepared and he didn't come to win against Terence Crawford. So I'd like to see what he can do against Julius Indongo. Let's make it happen. Now for the winner, Terence Crawford. I think it's time for him to move up to 147. He has nothing left to prove. And everybody keeps asking him this question. An interviewer asked him this and he got a little angry. He said, listen, you know what? It doesn't matter what happens. When I move up to 147, there's only going to be one name. And that name is Terence Crawford. And that's why you got to love him. Because he is a true fighter. He's not out here dodging, ducking. He said he wants Keith Thurman right off the bat. I doubt that happens. It's more than likely going to be the winner of Pacquiao-Jeff Horn for Terence Crawford's first fight at welterweight. And he wants a championship fight. And then in a few years, or by the end of, next year and maybe the beginning of 2019, you may get the Terence Crawford-Errol Spence Jr. fight that we're all waiting for. But it's going to be very difficult to bet against Terence Crawford. Now, on previous videos on the channel, you'll hear me say, when it comes down to it, I'm picking him over any welterweight. His IQ and his toolbox are more advanced than any other welterweight. And his activity, he stays in there. So he's only getting better. No long layoffs for Terence Crawford. Congratulations, Terence Crawford. Thank you, Julius Indongo. Shout out to Team Indongo. Thank you for showing me so much respect and being so humble. Shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to Blood Boxing. Shout out to 7-8. All the homies, man. I respect y'all so much. Next time when I come to an event like that, the footage will be different. This is All Stop Sports. We out.